He's currently facing felony charges for passing a bad check.
Oh my God.
Yes. So right now he faces two felony charges in Vegas over allegations that he wrote a bad check to purchase a watch from a luxury resale store. So the charges they actually came down in April, but he was just supposed to be in court Monday, but his attorney went for him. So the charge he's being currently charged with theft for value over $100,000 or greater, and draw or pass a check with intent to defraud for value over $1,200 or greater. So what happened is back in December of 2024, there's a receipt that ESPN and prosecutors have obtained where Floyd went into a resale boutique and tried to purchase an AP. Now, when he purchased the AP, he used a check to purchase this. Now, the store owner, the place is called Golden Beyond, is saying that he had a long-term business relationship with Floyd before the alleged transaction. So when the check and everything was happening, like when the money didn't come through, he gave Floyd some time, almost about a year, to try and make good for this, and it didn't happen. So now the Clark County prosecutors have filed an initial complaint that happened back in April, and 3 days later, they ordered Mayweather to appear in court in front of a judge. So that appearance happened Monday, but again, he wasn't there. His attorney.
That's crazy. So you build up this relationship, meaning you probably spent millions of dollars with them on buying watches. We all know that Floyd Mayweather loves to buy watches. That's like one of watches and cars is something that he has like a huge collection of, right? So you spent a ton of money with this jeweler, and I'm not saying that they're supposed to just give it to you off the arm. They gave you a whole year to pay them back for $200,000, a $200,000 watch, and you still didn't pay them back. Now, was that just negligence, or is he really going broke? That is the real question that people are asking. Is Floyd Mayweather going broke? It wouldn't be the first athlete that we've seen that made a bunch of money during their career, after their career is over, eventually went broke. It happens all of the time, bro. Whenever you portray this lifestyle of just spending, because this is the thing, bro, right? You make so much money doing the main thing. Whatever made you the most money, it was basketball, singing, boxing. That is what makes you the money. Your investments is what's gonna kind of keep you the money. Even with that, you're still not gonna make as much money as you're actively. If you were making a lot of money at the top of the top, like the LeBron James, when he leaves the NBA, bro, he won't be making $40 million a year. He's out there actively right now searching for investments to keep up with that. Now, you've made a lot of money doing your career, of course, but then you adjust your lifestyle. You start taking care of a lot of people. You started try to still live up to the lifestyle you was when you was making $50 million a year, $100 million a year, or whatever that is. You got $1 million in child support. You're taking care of other people. You still buying watches, traveling. You're still gambling. They say he has a real bad gambling situation. I know I seen one clip earlier today that said he lost like $10 million in a gambling thing. So we could be seeing one of our top boxers, one of the best boxers of all time, go broke. That's why he's coming back doing all. I don't think that's solely the reason why he's coming back doing all these boxing events. They say he's supposed to fight Mike Tyson. Now he's saying he's supposed to fight Manny Pacquiao. So he's searching for something to keep him either to generate another business venture, and then he's also looking for something to sustain his lifestyle. Another $100 million check. I know he was in a lawsuit for like 175 million from one of his old people that he used to give the money to help him invest. I guess they put his money into some bad investments. He ended up losing money and stuff like that. Say he doesn't even have his jet anymore. I think the thing is with Floyd Mayweather is that a lot of his money is tied up in assets, and he doesn't have the liquid cash anymore that he used to have, right? Like I said, he got a bunch of bad investments. He's still living like a crazy lifestyle. He's still gambling, and even with gambling, when you win money, you still got to pay taxes on the gambling. He's probably gambling and betting crazy. We seen it. Look at Adrian Barner. Another look at Adrian Barner running around here. Now he's resurged his career, and now he's doing like the streaming thing. But look at him though. Another person that made a lot of money doing their career and that went dead broke. It happens, bro. It's not new. It's not nothing new. It's not nothing new. You gotta learn how to invest your money, especially when you're making that much money. If you want to live the same lifestyle you did before, you got to. Or you gotta adjust your lifestyle. You gotta get a lot of those people from around you, all that security that you be rolling around with, all that private jets and all those $3 million. You can't even wear most of those damn watches, bro. You got a whole collection. Well, it's collateral at this point. I guess it would be considered an investment. So, but all the extra stuff you gotta wind down. And another thing is, bro, none of your, not to say live off your kids, but like none of your kids amounted to anything. So you're probably still taking care of their lifestyle as well.
Was there, so now he's facing.
I wonder how often Floyd Mayweather pays for stuff with a check, because he always has walked around with those big ass stacks of money and people.
But he don't have it no more. That's exactly what I was just saying. But his money is tied up in assets, bro. That's what the rich do. Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos. You ain't gonna see them with a bank account sitting at $100 million. Like, you ain't gonna, bro. That junk is tied into assets that they can borrow money from. That's how you avoid the taxes, bro. You gotta get hip to this, bro. I'm not saying that I was just hip to this. I'm just now getting hip to this type of stuff. But that's what you do. You put your money in stuff that you can borrow it from. Put a bunch of money over here, a bunch of money over here, a bunch of money over here. So it looks like either you recycled your money, because the IRS only wants to know the money that you made. They want you to stimulate the economy, right? Or put the money back into your business. That's how you get your money back. That's how you avoid or get into different tax brackets or avoid tax deductions and stuff like that. You put your money into other things and then you borrow from those things. Stocks and 401ks and high yield savings, real estate. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. You borrow money from those things. You borrow money from your businesses.
Carrying bags of money for him. And that's why this is such a big story. This is such a big story because his image has always revolved around money. It's Floyd Money Mayweather. So when people start thinking you're having financial problems, they can't wait to tell everybody.
But the sad thing with Floyd is like you said, he made $1.2 billion just from boxing, right? They said allegedly his management team stole $200 million, and that's the bad thing about it. It's just like when these people get this type of money and you invest, you trust people to invest your money, you trust people to put your money in the right place, and they don't, and you do businesses and your businesses don't do well. You can go from having a lot to a little very fast.
And also, yes, $1.2 billion is a lot of money, but cut that in half, people. The IRS getting half.
He was having IRS situation too. Now ESPN has a source that they're saying, because we were talking about remember he had the IRS situation, there was a passport conversation, which you can make payments and all that stuff to be able to keep or get your passport back eventually, right? But a source close to ESPN is saying that Mayweather still has his passport currently, following all these issues. It is expected to leave for Greece later this week because there was that threat of his passport being revoked at one point because of that IRS lien.
Well, the IRS lien, just for people to know, it's usually protocol. If you owe them money, the first thing they do is they put a lien on your property if it's in your personal name, and they take your passport. That's protocol. Then once you make an arrangement, then they give you your passport back and say if you sell the property, they get their money first. It's protocol of what the IRS does.
Don't you got a couple fights coming up though?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And one of them is out of the country, so that's why
that's the exhibition fight this summer.
Yes, that's why they went and talked to the source, because people were trying to figure out, are these fights happening or not? Because you see them promoted, then you don't really hear much about it.
They got a couple money.
Next week. I just said he's supposed to leave, according to ESPN source. He's supposed to leave for Greece later this week.
Yeah, because the fight is June 27th, I believe.
Right.
Well,
that's next week.
Yeah, go get that money.
17.
Yeah, so one thing they're not going to do is stop you from getting the money that you owe them. All of his recent fights have been overseas because they're exhibition fights, and maybe for the tax situation. I'm not exactly sure why Floyd Mayweather is having all his fights overseas. I don't know if you can't have exhibition fights. I don't know. I had to look that up. But all of his fights, I think the Pacquiao fight is supposed to be here in the States. But I think all of his fights, he's been still actively fighting. That's how I don't know how he's actively going broke. He's still actively fighting though, bro. I really don't know. We're gonna get into this next little clip from Shannon Sharp.
What happened, boy?
Floyd Mayweather says he reportedly got cleaned out to the tune of $175 million.
What?
Claiming a former close associate ran a year-long scheme that allegedly drained his bank accounts, hijacked real estate deals, pawned off his jewelry, and even made his private jet disappear. Damn. TMZ, Floyd says roughly $100 million worth of bling has handed over to a Miami jeweler for only $13 million in return. And he said a huge chunk of the collection is still sitting with the dealer. Floyd also says he unknowingly signed paperwork transferring ownership of his Gulfstream jet with a fire section left blank, and says he still doesn't know where the aircraft money went. Floyd also reportedly has been ordered to pay more than $1 million in child support after a Nevada judge ruled the retired boxer fathered a 4-year-old girl born to a former dancer at his Las Vegas strip club. Floyd also faced a reported $7.3 million IRS lien. Ocho, with the lavish lifestyle that Floyd has built over the years, the jet
Bro, when athletes and boxers be rich like that, what do you think women are gonna do once you get them pregnant? I'll be so confused, bro. You sat there and had sex with a girl. You had unprotected sex with a stripper. You Floyd Mayweather. You don't want to be with her. What do you think is coming next? She's coming for the money, stupid. Now $1 million for a 4-year-old. I do think this guy. I think these fights that he's gonna have is gonna be able to reset his lifestyle, and then he's gonna do things the right way. I don't think Floyd Mayweather is gonna hit the bottom, right? Everybody want to say, "Oh, Floyd is not our type of broke. Floyd type of broke is like the rich. If you're broke, you're broke. If you can't afford your lifestyle, you're broke. There's no levels to being broke. You popped, bro. You popped. Ain't no his broke is not our broke. No, broke is a broke. He's having trouble with his finances. He can't pay his bills. He's broke.
Gerard's non-stop spending has the lifestyle. Has he created a lifestyle that when he was making $200, $400 million a year, he was able to enjoy it? Has he created something that he can no longer keep up with?
Yeah, I think so. Because if you think about Floyd, obviously having to maintain the image of being Money Mayweather Joe.
Yeah.
Being at one point, being at Top's highest paid Forbes, top highest paid athlete at one point. The lifestyle that he did live, you understood. Once you stop fighting, once you retire, regardless of what investments you made, there are no investments in this world, I don't care who you are, Uncle Joe, that you can make that can still accumulate that type of revenue.
Yeah.
The sport that you play can. It's
unless you go create a Amazon, bro, there's no same with LeBron, bro. LeBron will never make the same amount of money he did when he was playing basketball. He's gonna literally either have to. Well, Floyd, no other athlete. I don't think no other athlete like the LeBrons and the Steph Currys that made as much money as him, bro. And you know what's really be killing them? The taxes. You see those checks, and then you be like, oh my God, they're getting so much money. When you break down the actual how they get taxed off of making millions of dollars, bro, I mean, they're still making a lot of money, but it ain't as much money as it looks like on paper, I tell you that. But like I said to say this, LeBron won't make $30 million, $40 million doing anything besides playing basketball. Anything besides playing basketball.
not that many. You gotta hit. You gotta get in good and hit it when it's hot, and it happens very seldom. It happens very seldom. So I hate this. I hate this for you, my young bull, man. I hate this for my young bull, Floyd. Hopefully, this situation gets rectified.
How old is
Ocho? Having people around you, having other people in control of your finances, that's a no-no, Joe. That's a no-no.
Man.
That is a big no-no, especially with the kind of cash flow Floyd had.
You know you can't sign anything blank. Ocho, when they come to us and they try to get us to sign these blanks, when they come to our autograph, no, bro. You know how many? You know how many jerseys that you can put these on? Do you know how many?
Yeah, man. Shout out to Floyd Mayweather, man. I hope you figure it out and get back to where you're going. I'm excited to see you versus Pacquiao though in the summertime, man, or whenever it's supposed to happen later on this year. I didn't really care for the Tyson fight, but make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, man. I'll see y'all in the next video.